guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively, we are the Office Blokes.
Yep.
It's true, we've got something shiny on display. Been polished up for you. Yeah, we in protest when we got the strike, we removed the plaque from the channel for 3 months, and the strike should be either gone or going now. So
it is back.
There it is, back in all its glory.
Lovely.
There you go. Anyway, Office Bloke Mike might just tell you about our Patreon page very quickly.
Oh, go on then. Go to patreon.com and put in Office Blokes React. Get tiers starting at just £1.50 there. And at the moment, for a special offer, you can get 12 months for the price of 10 as well. Got loads of block content.
Offer.
Yeah, exclusive weekly podcast on there by the Office Blokes as well. Yeah, just for patrons, so go and check it out.
It'd be shit if it was like a podcast and it wasn't us.
I know, yeah, we just nicked someone else's podcast and just put it on the Patreon page.
I know that might be better.
Yeah. Yeah, right then. Southern comfort foods that you'll need to try before you die. I mean, they invented comfort food, didn't they, in the South?
Is that where it's from?
Well,
Southern
comfort food.
It's not northern.
No, but I didn't know they invented it there, though.
Well, I think it's just there's lots of very hearty, sort of good, flavoursome food that comes from the South, from what I gather.
Enough.
But I feel like I'm going to be, it's going to be hard to watch this one.
You're going to be hungry after it.
Put me in the mood for my dinner.
Yeah, big time. So let's get into it. Southern comfort foods that you need to try before you die. Let's do it.
If you've ever lived in the American South, you'll know that the food down there has its own unique identity, and it's absolutely delicious too. If you haven't tried these, well, bless your heart. These are the Southern comfort foods you absolutely need to try. One of the most popular dishes to have come out of New Orleans are beignets. These airy treats are made with usually square pieces of yeast dough that are fried in hot oil until they puff up. They're then generously dusted with powdered sugar and eaten straight away, preferably accompanied by a mug of café au lait. Arguably, the best place to enjoy a beignet is in New Orleans, preferably at the Café du Monde, in the city's French Quarter. But if getting around is proving a little difficult right now, then you're in luck, because they're not difficult to make at home either. Just make sure to turn them often in the oil, and be careful not to overcook them. Biscuits and gravy is a hearty breakfast.
My mouth's watering already. Just looking at them, just fried goodness.
Yeah, I wouldn't like them, I don't think.
Did I miss something? Was there something inside them? Ah, right, okay. Air. Just air? Right. I'd probably like them, I think.
I think they're one of those things, you know, 1 or 2, nice and warm and fresh.
Yeah,
definitely.
A bit of sweetness. Nice.
Dish that you'll find in restaurants and homes across the South. The soft, flaky biscuits are smothered in white gravy, which is made from pork sausage drippings, milk, and flour. The gravy is seasoned with black pepper and typically includes pieces of the breakfast sausage too, making it even more flavorful. The good news is that sausage gravy is easy to make at home, and there are plenty of different recipes available online. Failing that, you could pick up some of the ready-mix packets at the grocery store, although you'll really want to try the homemade stuff at least once. As for the biscuits, if making them from scratch just isn't feasible, the Pillsbury ones you pop open and bake will work just fine. Just don't let a Southerner catch you taking those shortcuts. Okay, so boiled peanuts sound kinda bland compared to roasted peanuts, but don't judge a book by its cover. These are actually really good. They're made by taking raw peanuts and boiling them for hours in salty water over a fire, until the shells turn soggy. These peanuts are then sold at roadside stands all over the South, where residents and tourists alike enjoy them, often with bottles of Coke or sweet tea. For what it's worth, it's usually best to munch on boiled peanuts outdoors, so you can easily spit out their soggy shells, because it's nearly impossible to crack them open with your hands. Of course, some people opt to eat these peanuts whole, shells and all, but that's one heck of an acquired taste.
Nice.
Okay. For centuries...
Is that from Always Sunny, that clip?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
My instinct is to say that sounds horrible, but actually I eat salted peanuts all the time, just not boiled salted peanuts. So I'd probably like them.
I've never heard of it.
No, I've never heard of it.
First time ever.
Definitely worth a go, I think. But yeah, I've not heard of them before.
It's not into peanuts.
Yeah.
People have been making use of their stale bread by creating their own kinds of bread pudding. Often made with bread, cream, eggs, sugar, spices, and raisins, modern bread pudding is the heartiest of comfort foods, and should do wonders for warming you up on a cold and dreary day. So how do you make bread pudding even better? Just add bourbon. In the South, people often add a few dashes of bourbon to a number of different recipes, and bread pudding is one of them. The bourbon combines with the cream and sugar to create a thick, warm sauce that is drizzled over the warm bread pudding right before serving. Brunswick stew is a hearty tomato-based stew that's hugely popular in the South. It typically features lima beans, corn, and other vegetables, along with some sort of meat. The base includes barbecue sauce and a little hot sauce for some heat too. Early versions of the stew use squirrel meat, but if you're not brave enough to keep it authentic, you can always substitute the squirrel with rabbit, chicken, or just about anything else. Virginians claim the stew originated in their Brunswick County, while Georgians will tell you it was first made in the city of Brunswick, Georgia. Wherever it came from, however, it's a truly delicious comfort food that'll easily take the chill out of a wintry day. Grab some cornbread, or a loaf of any crusty bread for that matter, to sop up all the southern goodness.
That's right up my street.
That's my favourite up to now. That one.
Love a lovely bit of squirrel.
Yeah. I've never had squirrel, to be fair. It's just everything else looks
I
amazing.
think I'd have to have chicken in it, but
What?
no shit.
But squirrels are...
You know there is other meats available.
Squirrels are just tree chickens, though. I've never heard that before.
Tree chicken. You're just making it up now.
I am, absolutely. I do a...
That was nice, that.
I do like a chickpea and chorizo sort of stew that's similar looking to that.
Yeah.
Lots of like smoked paprika in it and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, the longer you cook it for, the better. And it's just proper warming, hearty
some nice
food.
bread in there as well.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Chicken. Lovely. Chicken, yeah.
Catfish is a simple dish that's available at most restaurants that serve fish in the South. And the good news is that catfish is pretty good for you, since it's high in omega-3 fatty acids and low in mercury. If you can't find it at a restaurant near you, however, your grocery store may offer farmed catfish, which is also typically clean and nutritious. Catfish is easy enough to prepare. Dip it in milk, dredge it in seasoned cornmeal, and fry it in hot oil. It only takes a few minutes to get it golden brown on the outside and beautifully flaky on the inside. Add a squirt of lemon and a side of rice, then start chowing down.
Yes.
Pure bliss.
Yeah.
For a truly comforting meal, there's nothing like a bowl of chicken and dumplings. If you aren't in the South, where you can find them at most sit-down restaurants, you can try making these at home by dropping biscuit dough into cooking soup. And though they aren't difficult to make, dumplings are a kind of art form, and they can take some time to perfect. You don't want your dumplings undercooked and wet inside, but you also don't want them so overcooked that they start falling apart in the broth. Stick them with a toothpick, and if it comes out clean, you're good to go. Chicken fried steak, sometimes called country.
I can take or leave dumplings. I don't really get it.
Yeah.
I could eat them. I quite like them sometimes, depending on what we're eating.
Just kind of adds stodge to your soup, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've had them with a stew before now, quite a few times. But yeah, it's one of those that's a bit sort of like neutral in it.
Yeah.
Don't love them, but it's quite nice for a bit of texture when you're eating something else.
I don't mind them.
Chicken fried steak looks good, though.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
Fried steak is made from a tenderized cube steak, which is battered like fried chicken, pan-fried and topped with white gravy. While you can find chicken fried steak in an array of southern states, it's most closely associated with Texas. And as with most things, it's always bigger in Texas too. In fact, at Lulu's Cafe in San Antonio, you can find a 21-ounce version of this dish. And it's not a coincidence that Lulu's is also home to the famous 3-pound cinnamon roll too. That's just how they roll down there, as it were. For your next Super Bowl party, why not forgo the wings and serve up a batch of southern fried chicken gizzards instead? Believe it or not, your guests might thank you for it. Okay, so you probably don't want to think too much about what a gizzard is, but that'll be easy enough to do once you realize how good it tastes.
What is a gizzard?
I just thought it's sort of like the insides, but I think I'm thinking
Like
of
giblets.
Giblets,
you're
that's what I
thinking
was thinking of. Yeah,
I don't know.
know. It looks like
Might be giblets.
Looked like proper meat though, didn't it? It didn't look.
Dark meat.
Yeah,
So more like chicken thigh sort of flavour. 'Cause that
I
dark
guess
has
so.
got
Yeah,
flavour.
yeah, might be all right.
Maybe it's best not to know what it is. And then just eat it and
Call it
enjoy
something else, and it'd be all right.
You can cook gizzards in a number of ways, but it's best to boil them first and then coat them before deep frying. Throw in a little hot sauce, and
there
soon
is
you won't
bits
be
in
able to get enough of these tender little morsels. Chicken pot pie is an iconic southern comfort food that, when done right, simply can't be beaten. And done right doesn't mean grabbing a pie from your grocer's freezer section. A flaky golden brown homemade crust is essential for this southern specialty. Inside, the chicken needs to be moist and plentiful. The vegetables must be neither too firm nor too mushy, and the gravy creamy but not goopy.
Absolutely.
Is it a challenge to find a good chicken pot pie? Yes, but it really is worth it. And if you don't trust restaurants to get it right, you could always experiment with different recipes at home. It might take some time to perfect, but once you land on just the right method, you'll never want to cook anything else. Ambrosia didn't actually originate in the South, but you'll still find it at plenty of southern potlucks. This variety of fruit salad typically contains mandarin oranges, mini marshmallows, pineapple chunks, and shredded coconut mixed with some sort of dairy ingredient. Some people use mayonnaise, while others use cream cheese, plain yogurt, or whipped cream. You might also find some potluckers add in bananas,
Mayonnaise?
cherries, and nuts too.
Mayonnaise?
Because why?
Yeah, that
Surely not.
Mayonnaise on fruit.
Not on the sweet. Surely.
that's for the larger people that like to eat
Got me
it.
yogurt.
Just get the mayo all
Some
over
yogurt
it
like
like that. Yeah, to me that's like it's a dessert sort of thing. That's how it looks to me anyway.
Yeah.
Got maymarshmallows and mayonnaise together. That's just madness.
Yeah, it looks a bit sort of trifleish, I suppose, doesn't it? But
Heck not, right? Think of it like a banana split without the ice cream. And then maybe throw in some ice cream anyway. If you live north of the Mason-Dixon line, you've probably never experienced chitlins before, and you are most definitely missing out. Chitlins are made from the large intestines of a hog, and they need to be carefully cleaned and prepared before cooking, for obvious reasons. Typically, the intestines are soaked in baking soda and water, rinsed several times, turned inside out and cleaned by hand before being boiled for several hours.
Too much fucking about.
okay, that's where chicken comes in handy, you see.
Especially
Cook it, done.
Yeah, it's easy, isn't it? But especially when they say they've got to be cleaned out for obvious reasons. Full of shit, mate. You see a little sphincter on the end of that one.
Proper appetising, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks grim.
I like to use them as a straw.
To clean them out.
And just in case you're doing this at home, be warned. Chitlins smell truly disgusting while they are boiling, so put some onion and lemon in the water to tone down the odor. After they are boiled, batter and deep fry them. Then serve them up with a little hot sauce. Though Pennsylvania has its own version of chow chow, it's actually completely different from the southern variety. In the South, chow chow is a cabbage-based type of pickled relish that incorporates onions, peppers, tomatoes, and a whole lot of seasoning. This stuff is often used as a topping for hot dogs and hamburgers, but you could also use it to top your cornbread, fish cakes, beans, and even your mashed potatoes. In fact, you can put it on just about anything. It'll taste great no matter what. Collard greens are a leafy green vegetable not completely unlike turnip or mustard greens, and are most often associated with soul food. They can be bitter and tough if not cooked properly. But if they're done right, then they'll make the perfect side dish to any southern meal. After washing them well, chop the leaves into inch-long pieces, then simmer them in water. People often throw a ham bone into the pot, along with garlic and onion for a little extra flavor. But one of the best additions to collard greens has got to be bacon. You can never go wrong with bacon. Red-eye gravy is made with the grease and drippings of pan-fried ham and black coffee. And yeah, okay, that might sound kinda gross, but this stuff really is amazing. The coffee is first used to deglaze the pan, but is then combined with the grease on a 1-to-1 ratio, resulting in a highly unusual yet genuinely delicious gravy. You can pour the simple gravy over your ham, potatoes, rice, or grits, but many folk choose to simply sop it up with biscuits. Crawfish, crayfish, crawdads, or mudbugs, whatever you call them in your neck of the woods, these freshwater crustaceans are some of the tastiest seafood out there. Of course, you can eat crawfish meat dipped in drawn butter, just like you would with lobster, but if you ever find yourself in the Cajun areas of Louisiana, do yourself a favor and seek out crawfish etouffee. This is when crawfish meat in a spicy roux is poured over rice for an amazing dish with a seriously deep flavor.
Oh yeah, it's good that.
As simple as it sounds, you don't want to make fried chicken and waffles at home. Instead, hop on over to one of the South's many awesome waffle establishments or diners, the places that really get it right. If you haven't experienced chicken and waffles before, it might seem like an unusual combination, but it really does work. Crispy on the outside.
I don't like the savoury and sweet things. Stuff like
I
that.
don't normally. It's a bit of a strange combination for me, that.
You
I'll
get
try that.
But I'd give it a go, definitely. But you get sometimes when you get you get a breakfast, don't you? That'll be pancakes and bacon and maple syrup and stuff like that, and it just throws me off. I just don't get it.
I'd probably try it, but because I like both things, clearly.
Yeah,
but yeah, together it'd be a bit of a weird
that's
combination.
tasty and that's tasty. Put it.
So surely,
it's probably really nice to be fair, isn't it?
yeah, could be.
And juicy on the inside, perfectly seasoned fried chicken makes a heavenly partner for a plate of buttery waffles. This is also an incredibly versatile dish and should work great for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a late-night snack. Fried green tomatoes is a simple southern side dish that packs a big punch. The key when making fried green tomatoes is to avoid them turning into a soft, soggy mess. Check your unripened tomatoes are suitably firm, then cut them into 3/8 to half-inch slices, and soak them for an hour in a mixture of buttermilk and hot sauce. Dredge the tomatoes in a combination of cornmeal and cornstarch, then fry them in bacon grease over medium-high heat until they're crispy on the outside. But be careful not to overcook them. You can dip them in just about anything, but a remoulade with mayo, hot sauce, horseradish, and Cajun spices would be the ultimate authentic accompaniment.
I miss the smell of coffee and bacon frying. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a plate of fried green tomatoes.
If you're looking for something a little out of the ordinary to
You see that chef that was on there with the white hair on the previous one?
Yeah.
I think it might be him. I remember we used to go into a shop, I think it was like a Wegmans or something in New Jersey, and we used to go in and he used to be stood there cooking. And we used to go and we always had a conversation with him when we went in, and one day he was watching like the food channel or whatever, and Mrs. shouts me, and she's, look who's on the channel.
Yeah.
I said, 87, I've never seen him again. You know,
Right.
obviously moved on from there, but I think it might be him.
I've seen his face on food programs, but I just don't know what programs, what context.
Yeah.
But I recognised him as soon as he
Yeah,
came
but he
up.
was working in like a supermarket type thing, and I think he had. I'm not sure if this is right. People might know if they're from the area, but I think he had a diner. As
Right,
well,
okay.
sort of thing, and then he'd do a little bit
Yeah.
in the shop with with the microphone on. telling you
Oh,
what he was
right,
cooking
the
and all that.
demonstration and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah, excellent. And now he's. Then I'm not sure if it is him, but he looks like him.
Yeah.
I do love jambalaya as well, by the way.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah,
Just got
yeah.
to say, that's my
We
type
do have
of
it
food.
occasionally at home. Actually, Nick makes it from scratch. It's
Chicken.
really nice.
Chorizo?
Everything.
Oh, that's all right then. Prawns as well.
No.
Sea
Oh,
chicken.
he was. Chicken of the sea.
Exactly.
Fill you up? Consider jambalaya. A favorite in Louisiana, jambalaya is a mix of sausage, chicken, seafood, and vegetables, cooked in the same pot with rice and stock. Creole jambalaya contains tomatoes, while the Cajun version does not. Both, of course, are extremely tasty. In Cajun jambalaya, in rural Louisiana, you might also find a variety of game meats used, as well as alligator, crayfish, and even turtle. All Southerners know that everything's better when you fry it, and okra is no exception. To make these golden nuggets of veggie goodness for yourself, slice your okra, dip it in buttermilk, and then coat it in cornmeal and season before deep frying. The best thing here is that okra is seriously good for you, since it's low in calories and contains a great deal of fiber, potassium, calcium, and vitamins.
Mrs. texted me one day. She says, when you're at the shop, you pick up some okra. I was like, I don't even know what that is.
That's because I've never heard
I'm
of
like,
it.
I don't know if it's a cream or. I just went, nah. I'm not going to ask for that. Did you get any okra? I went, I don't even know what it is.
You start fishing for more, and you're like, did the doctor prescribe
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Is it can you eat it? Is
I
it
just
a drink?
ignored it. I just ignored it.
Do you think
I
she was
won't
winding you
get
up
it.
like you do with
No.
the apprentices these days? You know,
No.
say you get some tartan paint and stuff.
No, she wanted. She was making something that one
Yeah.
of the ingredients, and I was like, just went. They didn't have any.
Didn't have any.
I checked on every aisle.
I worked in a kitchen when I was about 19, just washing pots, and one of the chefs said to me, "Go and get some calamari," and I'd had no training. Didn't eat in restaurants really, other than like Mexican food and stuff like that. Things like what's the Mexican place?
Over here, Taco Bell.
No, the one the big chain.
Chiquitos.
Chiquitos.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was trying to say Chicharito. That's what was throwing me. And he said, "Go and get some calamari." And I went in the freezers thinking things would be labelled. And I was like, I don't know what calamari is.
Yeah.
And I went out and asked someone, and they went, "It's squid." So I was like, right, straight back in the freezer looking for a squid. And about 45 minutes later, I came out of the freezer and accepted defeat and was like, I can't find a squid. And the chef was just like, for fuck's sake, it's just these little squid rings.
Yeah.
Someone's probably been waiting for their meal for like 45, 50
You're looking
minutes.
for like a big fully
I was
grown
looking for a
squid.
fucking squid. I didn't know. I literally had no idea.
Dope.
I had no reason to know. I'd never ordered calamari. I didn't know anyone that had ever ordered calamari. I had no idea.
That's why you work here, mate.
The best way to cook that okra is just you get it out, you clean it, and then just throw it straight in the bin.
The hot brown sandwich originated at the restaurant in the Brown Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky in the 1920s, and it's still served there today. The hot brown is traditionally an open-faced turkey sandwich with tomatoes, covered in Mornay sauce, which is baked, topped with bacon, and then broiled. Some people say it was originally created with peaches rather than tomatoes. Others swear it's a great hangover cure. Pretty much everyone agrees, however, that it's a genuine, bona fide, once-in-a-lifetime sandwich. If you've ever eaten at Long John Silver's, you've probably had their hush puppies. But the ones you can get at a southern restaurant or fish fry are a heck of a lot better than the Long John variety. Hush puppies are basically balls of fried cornmeal batter that are often served alongside fried fish or shrimp. Though hush puppies aren't exactly complex, they're kind of like potato chips, in that it's virtually impossible to eat just one. Southern pecan pie made with a splash of high-quality bourbon is hard to beat. If you don't have a restaurant in your area that makes a killer pecan pie though, it's not too difficult to make at home. However, you'll want to experiment with the amounts of corn syrup, brown sugar, and bourbon you're using until you find just the right combination. And sure, you might end up having to bake a load of pies to get it right, but who's gonna complain about that? If you aren't from the South, then there's a chance you aren't too familiar with pimento cheese. Basically, pimento cheese is a mixture of cheese mixed with mayo and pimento peppers. It can be spread on crackers, stuffed into celery, and scooped onto chips. Some people add it to scrambled eggs or grits, while others use it as a relish for brats, burgers, and hot dogs. In Louisiana, they spice it up by adding hot sauce or cayenne pepper into the mix. But the possibilities for pimento cheese are endless, and once you start incorporating it into your recipes, you're never going to want to stop. Pot liquor is the...
This is really starting to take its toll on me, this video now.
I'm gonna try that. Cheese. Do you like
I've never had it.
pimento cheese? Yeah, I wanna have a go at it.
There's just so much amazing, tasty looking food.
There isn't
here.
there? Yeah, lots of it.
I've-
Big portions.
Obviously, because
Lovely.
I've been doing my house up and in the process of moving and stuff, I can't cook because I'm either somewhere that's not had a kitchen or, you know, like, just in between. So I'm eating so many takeaways at the moment. I'm just sick to fucking death of it.
Yeah,
I'm looking at this proper food and I'm like, I'm yearning for it.
Get
I
write
need
your
it.
ingredients down, Dave. Get them written down
I
and
can't
get some
cook.
buying some this week.
I can't cook, and my wife was out the other night, and should you make your own dinner? Straight takeaway. I'm not.
I love
didn't even
cooking.
look to see what we had. I just didn't sod it.
I actually do love cooking. I cook a lot under normal circumstances, but yeah, too many takeaways for me.
Yeah.
Well, I had a burrito last night. It was double meat, large, it's like a brick.
I was on Cowtown Grill's website on Friday night when I was waiting here for the winter pass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll just order a Cowtown. I looked and it was like 70 minutes for delivery, and I thought, oh, I can't wait that long.
No.
Anyway, I was here for about another 2 hours as well, so I thought, could have waited.
Yeah. Oh, could have done it.
liquid that's left behind after you boil green vegetables. So what do you do with it other than pour it down the sink? Well, some people save pot liquor and use it in place of stock in their next stew or soup, while others pour it over rice or potatoes. But the best thing to do with pot liquor is drink it. It might seem a little odd, but that way you can reap all the nutrients that have boiled out of the greens. Red beans and rice is a staple dish in Louisiana Creole cuisine. Traditionally, families took the ham hocks, bones, vegetables, and beans that were left over from Sunday dinner and used them to create a scrumptious dish of spicy beans that were served with rice the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Cayenne pepper, Tabasco sauce, and other seasonings can turn up the heat on this hearty meal. While some people like to add in sausage or other meats. Here's a tip though. If you boil bones to make a broth for the base, you'll get exactly the flavor you want without having to add anything else. Gumbo is sometimes confused with jambalaya, but it's not the same thing at all. The key difference is that with jambalaya, the rice is cooked with the rest of the ingredients. With gumbo, however, the rice is cooked separately. Gumbo is a stew created with a strong, robust stock, sausage, shrimp, other shellfish, and the holy trinity of vegetables: bell peppers, celery, and onions. The most important aspect of home cooking a great gumbo is perfecting the roux that's used as its base. Or you could just head down to New Orleans and get someone to make it for you. Your call.
Exactly.
Where's my mac and cheese?
Everyone knows that real macaroni and cheese doesn't come out of a box, nor does it come with a packet of powdered cheese. Real good old-fashioned Southern mac and cheese is a completely separate dish.
Real good old-fashioned Southern mac and cheese.
Jamie
Jamie
Oliver.
Oliver.
Dishing it out.
I love watching his programs where he goes to Italy or whatever and he tries to do like a mama used to make.
Yeah.
And whenever they taste his food, they just go, "Oh no,
Yeah, nothing
no."
like it.
That's why his restaurant's closed down.
Together. It's often created with the combination of cheeses, and you can use anything from smoked cheddar and Monterey Jack to Gruyere and Velveeta. Southern recipes usually feature heavy whipping cream, evaporated milk, or both, and the dish is baked in the oven until the sauce is creamy and the top is crispy. No matter how much you love macaroni and cheese, you've never really tried it until you've had it in the South. You might have seen sweet potato casserole at Thanksgiving dinner and passed it by, but it's time to stop sleeping on this delicious dish. Though some folks love it topped with charred marshmallows, others prefer a topping made with brown sugar and pecans. Give it a go, and you'll soon realize that this often overlooked Thanksgiving side dish deserves a place on your dinner table all through the year. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more MASH videos about
Jesus Christ.
There we go. Some really tasty stuff there, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Makes you hungry.
yeah,
It's not better though when you go to a different country and you tuck into their cuisine.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I'm not a massive seafood fan. I'll eat anything. I'll try absolutely anything.
Yeah,
Put anything in front of me, I'll
yeah.
try it. You know, if I don't like it, I don't like it. But I remember going to a restaurant in Thailand, and it was I said, you know, we'll do Thai food.
Yeah.
Went in, the guy was meeting was English. And the chef come out, no shoes and socks on, shorts on, no top. And I was like, oh. He's like, the guy was always going, it's a famous restaurant. It's like world famous.
Yeah.
And I went, I don't give a shit, mate. I'm just put me right off. And he said, we'll sit outside. And I went outside. And it was like an oil sort of like, it was an oil and gas area.
Yeah.
And it was like sewage sort of like flashing around in the water next to us. Just like, mate, you've got me all wrong here.
Yeah, that's a bit too authentic.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
stickler in places like that, I think.
I remember, you know, in the height of the Brexit thing before the pandemic, and where all of our news was just Brexit.
Yeah.
And I was saying, because we're leaving the EU, we're going to get a lot more ingredients from the States. And but there was all this talk of like chlorinated chicken was going to come over, and food health standards weren't high enough. And then I'm looking at all that food, and when I was there in Vegas as well, the food was amazing.
Yeah, food in America, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking at it like, was that missold to us a little bit, that if there were a closer trade partner and we were getting food from the States more at a lower tariff than food from the EU, for example, would it be a bad thing?
Yeah, maybe not.
Because all of that looked absolutely fucking amazing. It really did.
Yeah.
What's to try in New York? What have you got to try to go to New York? Pizza. Best pizza, is it?
Yeah.
Bagels.
You got everything. You got a variety of everything you want in New York.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Go for everything. Just eat breakfast, lunch and dinner out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You got to go all out and just go somewhere different every day.
Yeah, good idea.
Got to do the diners for breakfast.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Have all that, and then But don't go to anywhere like TGI Fridays or anything like that. So swerve all and just go to
proper ones.
family restaurants.
Yeah.
What about street food? Street food vendors and stuff like that. Avoid or go to.
Well, I would anyway. That's not my style unless you're in Asia. I normally do Asian street food. If I do that, but if you go to like places that you sort of like focus on, you go down to like Little Italy or Chinatown, places like that, and you just some of the restaurants there, get some recommendations.
The authentic stuff.
Bang it out.
Nice, will do.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm hungry now. Yes,
I know. Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget like and subscribe and hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers. Guys.